elect minority leaders and oppositions, and minority leaders as Kelvin Morris, to ask questions in regards to the accountability so the people can understand where the spending monies are going. It has to be respected by the assemblymen and government as well. And on many occasions, we are seeing the minority leader and the council requesting information from the Secretary of Works in regards to monies being spent and allocations being spent. We just seen $2 million again spent to fix this water issue that we have at Cocoa Reef. I passed there yesterday and I was like, well, wait, didn't I just see them spend $2 million to fix this issue and the issue is still there? Is it that monies are just being spent, given to contractors, and we just have the mindset in our minds that, okay, fix, the money already gone, we don't really need to care about it? Or is it that we do not have proper contractors or proper persons are not being contracted to do this job properly? Because we cannot continue to spend money baseless and the issue still remains there. But now when you are questioning the Secretary of Works and Infrastructure on how the monies were spent and the monies used and who was it, you refuse to answer and you're asking for a referral to give us answers. People have to understand you are elected, not selected. And as Assemblyman, the people of Tobago, especially Tobago, deserves accountability. And I don't want to hear about, oh, the PNM was there, why I wasn't questioning them. You people who are talking about the PNM was there, the PNM is not involved. This is an administration that put their political promises on let me fix this. So at the end of the day, when they say let me fix this, we have questions and I will question the same way. The same way I've been questioning the government of Trinidad and Tobago, I've questioned the former PNM administration in Tobago, I will question this administration and they are no different from anybody to be questioned the same way. So all those persons with the negative comments, take a step back and go in line or something because I'm accustomed to the negativity now. So I am calling on the Secretary to please give an accountability to the dollars that was spent to fix this issue in front of Cocoa Reef. And let us see how best we can address it because monies are being spent and the job is not being done because you all stood on a platform and talked about contractors in Tobago not finishing the work and you all refused to pay them. But I am sure that this $2 million was paid to this contractor and yet the work is not finished. So what precedents are you setting for our Tobago contractors by saying and doing these things? So I'm moving on now to the cornucopia. And before I get into the cornucopia, I want to talk about the October Carnival. And a lot of people are depending on me to be true to myself and to be transparent. And I like to be fair and I do not like to be biased. This year's October Carnival, to me, I will rate it an 8 out of 10. And I say that in respect to what I would have seen compared to last year. I would have seen a growth in regards to the persons coming to the island, especially our Trinidadians. And I would have made comments on social media. Thank you to the Trinidadians, truck Trinidadians, Margaritas Trinidadians. And I made those comments for reasons like this. Maybe I do not agree with the delivery of how Mr. Watson Duke is saying is a bus, and because of Trinidad, it would have been bus. I do not agree with some of those statements. But at the end of the day, we really have to look at the product that we have. Is it just for the Trinidadians? But we also had international guests. I want to thank Caribbean Airlines and the Port Authority for stepping up their game this year in regards to the productivity and the services with the transportation throughout Trinidad and Tobago. Congratulations. I would like to thank the Trinidadians, Trinidad trucks, masqueraders, everyone for putting the effort into this Tobago Carnival for making it a success to that extent. There were some nitty-gritties and certain things and certain aspects that still needs to be addressed, but this is just the second year. And I'm hoping that in the third year going forward, that everything based on their postmortem, will be addressed going forward. Now, I am saying this, to me, I believe that the carnival was a success because of certain things and certain elements that were projected in the carnival. The Juve was a success because we've seen a number of people. The night mass was not so much of a success. And certain other parts of the carnival, the Sunday and everything, it was a success. And I am not being biased, I give it that level. But the things that I'm going to hold account, some of the mass bands who were on the road, I heard Toka talk about 54 bands. In the press releases, they mentioned 54 bands registered for the October Carnival. Then on our next press conference, I heard him say, and the secretary, they said 24 bands. Then, I don't know if my accounting is right, but when asking persons who were looking on, and certain mass bands who would have come up from Trinidad to look on to see how much bands, I think maybe I need, if I can stand be corrected, 12 bands cross the stage for the Sunday Carnival. If I'm supposed to be corrected, I will stand corrected. Right? So, we need an accountability of who are these 54 bands, broke down to 24 bands, down to 12 bands. We need an accountability of the monies were spent. And the question is, monies were allocated. And I'm asking the question on behalf of some mass bands who do not want to. Were certain bands given or monetary allocations and some bands did not receive any? That's one of the questions I would like to ask. The second thing is, some of the mass bands complaining, especially the smaller mass bands, when they were on time for the Juve and other parts of the festival, and they were pushed aside because the bigger bands like Fog Angels, they had to wait for them and they wanted them in front and only pushing them aside and certain things. There needs to be a level of accountability, and those are some of the concerns that I would have had along with other concerns. And as I said, I don't want to spoil the moment. I don't want to be biased. To me, the carnival was great in terms of numbers and whatever growth it brought to the development of the economy of Tobago, the hoteliers and the vendors and everybody, congratulations in that aspect. But there were a lot of things that happened that needs to be ironed out, and I'm hoping that based on the postmortem I can respond further. But for now, I give the carnival an 8 out of 10 until I've heard the postmortem, and then I can then break it down into pieces to give a better remark or to destabilize the remark. Now, a number of persons, I also want to talk about the cornucopia. I'm going straight into the cornucopia now. You would have seen me in the media, and it's like every year this continues to happen. The cornucopia was birthed because of the lack of input from the TH at the beginning, wanting to support the mass bands, the steel pan, the calypsonians and stuff with no competition, no money. And when cornucopia was birthed, then we realized they started with the competition, they started with the show and thing because they thought that cornucopia was giving them a competition for the first year. Yes, we received funding from Festivals Commission last year of $10,000, and I would have made note of that. We would have also received from the government of Trinidad and Tobago in the office of the Prime Minister $100,000 to aid with the competition segment of the cornucopia last year, 2022. And that was from the office of the Prime Minister. We received that, that was done. This year, and after that now, the prize giving ceremony was the 11th of November last year, where we also pre-launched Cornucopia 23 with the new upgrades and stuff. And then from 2022, we started marketing internationally across the region. Everything was out, everything was there. We would have sent out a number of requests for sponsorship to sponsors, to the Division of Tourism, everything. And these are conversations that I would have had with the Councillor Tasha Boris. sending, because we sent out our application since March, and we sent it out very early, and we did not get a response until way down about, I think it's a week or a month before, a month or two before they would have launched the budget for the $12 million allocation for the Tobago Carnival in October. And we keep on calling, writing them in regards to if we're getting funding, if we're getting support, we want to know what are we getting. And I remember writing to the secretary, and she said, regarding the Cornucopia, this document from the Secretary of Tourism, pleasant good morning. Regarding the Cornucopia request, please note that the proposal has been referred to the Technical Advisor and Antiquities, Dr. Charleston Thomas, who has the responsibility for meeting with all organizations and interest groups that have requested financial support for the 2023 October Carnival. Cornucopia events can expect to be contacted by technical advisor in the coming week to finalize a meeting or discussion. This response was Wednesday, the 9th of the 6th, 2023 at 10:28 a.m. Right? We did a follow-up again in September again. Writing to her, a pleasant good morning. We are doing a follow-up to find out if our request and our proposal for sponsorship will be granted or any assistance will be rendered to us as Carnival is near. And an executive arrange, and can the executive arrange a meeting with the secretary as soon as possible? Thank you. We do anticipate a quick and favorable response. No response, none whatsoever was given. And we also receive again from her, a pleasant good morning. We thank you for your response, just confirming you received the official sponsor letter, the Cornucopia, right? Then we receive a response, good afternoon, Nicosi Phillips and Ms. Afia. This correspondence serves to acknowledge receipt of your email. The attached missive would be sent to the Office of the Administrator. Regarding the Office of the Secretary, I will revert the feedback as soon as received on the July the 25th, 2023. This is at 4:20 p.m. Then now, we received an email the 9th of the 6th, the same day at 1:22, from Dr. Charleston. Dear Nicosi Phillips, thank you for submitting your Cornucopia proposal at the division. We are eager to engage with communities and community-based organizations in the advancement of Tobago and more specifically in the development of October Carnival project. This year, we have proceeded to do things a bit differently, as the implementation of a new procurement legislation has placed greater regulations on how we, as a state, engage with stakeholders, service providers, and so forth, as a way to ensure that more prudence is exercised in transactions involving the use of public funds. Some questions now must be clearly answered in support of the division. So they sent us this hullabaloo crap, telling us to itemize below for some questions. Is a detailed budget outlining the various sources of income available. They wanted to know our sources of income, who and the challenges faced with last staging. Can you please share the challenges identified from last year's event being catered for in this year's staging? Was the event sponsored last year, and can a comparative percentage be shown for private sector versus public sector funding? Regarding service providers, can you confirm that the service providers are registered, have stated the registration process, and the depository of the Office of the Procurement? All that crap. And in the letter you would have said they will meet with us, and they will have a meeting with us. There was no meeting. There was no call for us to meet at any time. We had to be calling over and over, over and over. Somebody calls not being answered, emails were sent, nothing. And to revert to the media. But I guess that is the only time they answer certain things. So I reverted to the media, and I stated the facts in the media. To that, the facility was issue. We will not have the issue facility. And not having the facility, I would have made calls to the manager. The manager would have tried to organize the facility. Notwithstanding, this year by the Zoom secretary and the team was to waiver the fees that were already waived when they would have said how much the budgetary allocations were, and I don't understand what are their calculations as to waiver the fee. Now, yes, I went as far as having an interview with the observer, calling me the said day, and said he saw me in the media and would have done his own investigation by calling the administration or calling Tobago, the committee, to find out as to why they are not supporting Cornucopia. And I don't know if many of you saw that interview tonight, but the observer said when he would have called to do his investigations, he was told by them that Cornucopia, they're not going to support Cornucopia or me because Cornucopia is to spread LGBTQI or whatever alphabet it is amongst the children in Tobago, so they are not supporting it. So he called me and asked for an interview, and he would have outed them on his show the same night, and I couldn't respond because I was shocked, because Cornucopia being an LGBTQ to spread amongst children in Tobago, that is totally a blatant lie. So I held my composure to a certain extent. The day before the show, the secretary, I continued going to the office find out from the general secretary, because when I got on to, I went to the Secretary of Tourism's office and I met with her advisor, whoever she, Miss Nancy's, and I told her what is going on. We need to know, we are 3 days before the show, we need to know what is going on. So I told her what is happening. Same time Mr. Charleston come in, and I asked, he said, this is Mr. Charleston. I introduced myself, he introduced himself. I asked him what is going on because we want to know, are we getting any sponsorship or whatever? So he told me whatever he saw was a wavering of the fees. So I was like, that is the level of sponsorship, the wavering of fees? So I was like, okay, cool. He said a document will come to me by this evening. Wednesday come, Tuesday come, Thursday come, the day before the show, nothing. So when I went to the office to speak to the General Secretariat, I met with Miss Antonia Thomas, who had no knowledge of anything. No information was sent to her in regards to giving us a letter wavering of fee, nothing. She was totally lost. And she said she would get back to me. I didn't get no response. When I went in the media again, I got a call from the Secretary of Tourism, Mr. the Thursday, when the international artists came in on the airport, and I went to collect her. But let me say this. This will be the last time the Secretary of Tourism will be calling my phone to have that type of conversation on my phone and to carry on like how she carried on the phone. It's because I wanted the show to be done. I didn't answer her the way that she wanted to be answered. But now I'm going to answer her. When she called me, I told her, hold on, because I have the international artist in front of me and I'm now coming off the airport. Let me get something for her to eat. I told her, hold on. She held on, and then I started talking with her. And then she went on her high horses. She talked about she hearing her name in the media, and she don't like to address certain things, and she will address it now. But I know, because somebody would have messaged me and told me, be careful of how you respond, because the phone is on speaker, and they're recording it, and they have an audience. So I was very aware of what she was doing. I had the phone on speaker in front of all the persons in rituals, the management, the international artists, everybody who was in rituals at that day, the Thursday before the show, the night over, they would have heard everything that she said to me. She said, I am unprofessional, I don't have a professional look, I don't want to work with me because I portray myself. I should go back to Shamfa Kajo and ask for money, get money from central government, and you're getting money from central government. Where's the $100,000 that Shamfa Kajo give you? To put that, because it's not Shamfa Kajo, it's the Honorable Minister Shamfa Kajo, at that time, and I would have told her that Shamfa Kajo did not give me any money, or Minister Shamfa give me money. It came from the office of the Prime Minister, fund, which Ms. is a line minister of that ministry, and that is why check from her in that capacity. Even went on to saying that Cornacopia shouldn't be in October and it is supposed to be in from central government, and Tobago Carnival is branded by the THA, and we shouldn't have a competition against the THA, and that's why they wouldn't look to things like that, and I should move this. But type of leader that if she did catch me up when I was not in this position that I am now, she would have phoned immediately. I would have sent myself to the office her the way that she wanted to. And she went on ranting and raving, and I was silent. I didn't. She then said that, oh, by evening, for the wavering of facilities, and the show was not good last year based on her report. It was good, whatever she said. I left it like that. Persons around me, stay quiet, stay focused, and I was quiet and I was focused because I said, it's the Thursday before the show. She took the opportunity to call and rant and whatever she said. And I stood quiet and I held my composure as much as possible. But that is the last time you, the Secretary of Tourism, will ever be calling my phone to even make those statements. Because the next time I'll meet you in public and I will tell you what I'm supposed to tell you exactly in front of your face. So, the show Cornacopia, it was a success because we did everything we were supposed to do. We marketed the show even last year. We had more marketing than marketed internationally. We had problems with our international guests coming because of flights and the arrangements and the sponsorship and the lack of knowing if the show was on or off. But the show was a success because all the artists, we had 11 Calypsonians. We had 17 to 20 soca artists, including the Terraces and the Fortune launch. In there we had them. We also had the children and the mass band that were there, and all the 5 different mass bands who portrayed their costumes on the track. It was good. But people will call it a bust or a failure because you all didn't come. So if you all didn't support your own culture and support your own people, how you expect it to be good? But the persons who were there enjoyed themselves, and to me and to the mass bands and to the other persons, soca artists, all the Calypsonians, they enjoyed themselves, and it was a success. And let me say this. I heard all the statements that were used from the committee, persons on the committee, in the Carnival committee, about they wouldn't support a man in a dress, they're not supporting me, they're not supporting Cornacopia because it's to spread LGBTQ among the children. And so you are telling me that the soca artists that performed in Cornacopia, they are part of the LGBT community. You are telling me that the mass bands that perform, all the mass bands and all the mass leaders with the little children, you are telling me that they are part of the LGBT community. You are telling me that the vendors, that the Calypsonians who perform, they are part of the LGBT community because they took part in the Cornacopia. Well, let me tell you where the LGBT community is. The LGBT community is right in the THA administration. Right in the THA administration, from head, come all the way down to the toe. And I am tired of this nonsense with this LGBT community. I made this statement over and over. I am not a part of any LGBTQI, Chinese alphabet, whoever it is, committee or community it is. I am an individual with an individual choice. And what I'm doing has nothing to do with that community. And for you to make those statements, and you all wouldn't make the statements in public, but you all would make it back wrong. And you know what happened? You see all these drives, all these flash drives and all these phones? I have every single recording. You all in office, and you all feel that the people who are around you all are coming to you all and night up. But every single meeting you all have and mention my name, all these information are here because they're recording every conversation that you all have in all the executive meeting, any meeting that you all bring up my name. Notwithstanding that, information has been sent where you're all talking about bringing on certain people into Tobago, going after PNM people. But I am not that kind of person. I don't have to use this information to come after you all. Because this administration is the worst administration in the history of Trinidad and Tobago, led by the Chief Secretary Farley Augustine. And if you're all coming for me, you all have to come real good. You all have to come real good. You all continue to add to bring a narrative that I am promoting LGBTQ, but it already in Trinidad and Tobago. Are the ones who are aligned with the United States of America and the U.S. Embassy. You all remember, you all signed a treaty, you all are accepting things from the United States of America where the U.S. Embassy is a part of that. That is what the United Nations is there for. And it is here, the Human Rights Book on the Committee of the Elimination of Racial Discrimination. When you all signed on to take things from the United States of America, you're all not promoting LGBTQ. You all are not a part of the LGBT community when you all sign on and taking all this stuff from America as well. That is also supposed to thinking, but you all continue to push this narrative to try to hamper my character, but you all not doing me anything. You all are harming persons who are trying to elevate themselves in the island and the space of Tobago. And enough is enough. Enough is enough. If you or anybody in that administration have a problem with me, you all come face to face. Don't sit behind the table and want to talk about me. I want to talk about LGBTQ. The next time I hear it again, I will release every single information one by one. And don't worry, I wouldn't have this information. These are the here because I would have sent every single copy to various international countries of the leaders who I'm associated with. I would have also sent a copy to the United Nations. I would have sent a copy to every single person you're doing business with to let them know the kind of nasty people that you all. How on earth can you all link or put me as having cornucopia as an LGBTQ to spread among the children of the community? Look how much people undercover in Tobago and Trinidad. All in the administration, all I have them inside there, but you all wouldn't say nothing. We have a senator who was appointed. A senator was appointed, Ms. Joelle D'Souza. You're not protesting, you're not saying anything. Show me one article in Trinidad and Tobago that has anybody in the LGBT community who was child molesting a child. It's all them men and them who continue to molest. You all will not say nothing, you all will not protest or anything, but you're all coming after me. Well, it is enough. Enough is enough. And I'm waiting for her to respond, you know. And I will have a next response for you because trust me, enough is enough. You all are hampering people's lives. And you all continue to do this and you all tell this everything, you're all going around telling people, cornucopia is to push LGBT. What LGBTQ? These people that are supporting this show and supporting me, it has nothing to do with LGBT and the community. You all continue to push the narrative because I want to distract the population of the lack of the work that you're doing for our young people. There is no support for Tobago and young people. Our youths are faced with, look at these young men. All the young men you all promised to give jobs. There are no jobs. All the kids doing what that is why we are resorting to crime. That is why Tobago is picking up the crime aspect of how Trinidad is. You all are going after people in the administration. Single-handedly going after people who are in the PNM family. And I do agree with Mr. Dennis, and I do agree with them because you are. Because I received information again that you all are going after people. Imagine somebody who passed the level up to an administrator to an assemblyman or woman. All are breaking the contract because the person was a PNM. But here what are going to do now? All they now telling them, well, they don't have maths and English. Somebody who don't have maths and English went and get a bachelor's, the master's, everything, working in the administration, and then now you want to cut their contract because you have maths and English now. It's only because they're PNM. There are a lot of PNM people, and you all are going, just now you all will see a retrenchment of people because they're going after PNM people. It happened because I would have made a comment on something that was said. And they picked me up for it. They picked me up for it. Anybody who makes a comment against this administration, get ready to be victimized. But let me tell you all something. The powers that you think I don't have, I do have. And I will use them as of today going forward. You will see a different You all want to see a politician? I have been studying and mastering every single one of you. Every single one in this administration, both the opposition, the Prime Minister, UNC, PD, I have been studying everything. And I have been silent. I have been trying to work with this administration, trying to see how best I can put some programs in place because the community centers are closed. No programs in place. Our young people on the road, no jobs. You all have, imagine in Works, imagine you go to Works to get a job and they're telling you to go to the assemblyman. The assemblyman is not the HR. So why you have to go to the assemblyman to give him your information? Why? Because the election coming up and they know they're going to lose this election coming, that they're going to tell people, well, if you vote for me, I'll give you a 10 days work. No. And you Tobago people are silent and you all are quiet. And none of you are saying anything. But you all want to come after me. I'm ready. I am ready. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. I am saying it for the last time. I, Nkosi Phillips, am not a part of any LGBTQI, MJ, Chinese alphabet community. I have no dealings with them. And at the end of the day, do not please associate me with that community. And when you are trying to associate me with that community, and you all are hampering the lives of the persons who want to achieve something, it's not going to happen. Enough is enough. I am tired of you all using that narrative behind closed doors. You all are keep on saying things behind closed doors. I have enough information. And I keep on laughing and smiling with you all because at the end of the day, that is not the kind of politics I want to achieve. My party is unity of the people, and it is to bring unity amongst the people of Trinidad and Tobago, despite of creed, race, religion, sex, or gender. Unity of the people does not discriminate against anybody, no matter what political affiliation you have. It has to stop. And nobody is questioning this administration. Why? Because they think that they can't account to people. But call an election in the morning. If you all are so brave, if the chief secretary is so brave and the chief secretary is so good, call an election in the morning. Maybe I wouldn't win. But at the end of the day, the people will not go back and make the same mistake that Watson Duke made. They will not make the same mistake that Watson Duke made. And that is why Cornucopia 2024 is on, and we will be launching very soon, and we will not have no dealings to do with the Tobago House of Assembly once that crooked administration is in the Assembly, and that secretary there, Mr. Shebaris, is in the Assembly as the Secretary of Tourism. We will not be having no dealings with the Tobago House of Assembly. So you can clap your hands now. We're finally away from you all. We have made changes to the Cornucopia proposal. Going forward, we have made a lot of drastic changes and changes that will enhance the development of Cornucopia. We are looking to the development of the mass bands, the calypsonians, and the soca artists. Next year, I will be leading a delegation to the United Nations, a delegation of young women from different aspects of Tobago and Trinidad. I'll be leading them to the delegation of the Women's Conference. I will also be the persons who were supposed to come here for the October Carnival, for the Cornucopia or international guests. We will be having a show for them in Chicago. And the 5 mass bands that would have taken place or taken part with the Cornucopia, their costumes will be sold, and their costumes are already being sold to those persons in Chicago. So we are moving the show to Chicago to give the persons who did not make it this year, the international guests, a part and a taste of what the Cornucopia was all about. So look out for it. When I'm at the United States, I will inform the media of the show, and we will have somebody because we're looking to see if we can have their president to see what we're doing from the whole of the United Nations into the shows and other things happening. And honestly, I really am disappointed because you all want to bring this LGBTQ thing on me, but your whole administration corrupted, your whole administration have the LGBT community in it. I wouldn't call names because they are. And I've seen the text when people say call names. I'm not stupid. I was advised by my legal team to just say what I'm supposed to say. If you want to find the LGBT community, look in the and look in them right in that situation, like they see all the LGBT people inside it. But yet, the religious bodies who supporting them, the business people who supporting them, they wouldn't say nothing because they try to suck up, because and they want to get money and projects and contracts from them. They're not going to suck up to anybody. Enough is enough. To know more, let them respond. Let them come after me. And trust me, I will respond again, because this is just the beginning. This is just the icebreaker. This is the icebreaker and the precursor. Because I have enough information, let Tobago know the kind of people that they're dealing with in that administration, and that's it. I'm done. I am the political leader to unity of the people, and if you don't respect that, that is your business. But the same way how you don't respect that, the same way that certain people only shouldn't be calling and say, okay, God, I don't want hampers, all I don't want this, all I don't want that. Just don't support me then. I would have made statements, and then I'm seeing Gracilla Charles. You know who you are. You know who you are. And you are commenting and telling me the same people in Trinidad who come up here, who you give the hampers to for the local government election, they should have come up and support the cornucopia. But it's the same Trinidadians, the Secretary of Tourism that you know very well, who bring up all the mass bands and the big trucks and all these things. That is what you're supporting, right? So Gracilla Charles, I know exactly who you are, and you know who you are too. And I'm sure that you will get the message to the person that you know very well in the assembly, because I am not taking any nonsense from anybody. It has to stop. We have too much issues on the island of Tobago. We have issues that no development on the island of Tobago is taking place. We have the roads to fix. Look at Lowlands, the back of Lowlands. The road is in a dilapidated state. You are asking and requesting more funding. For what? When you have an allocation of people's salary of $30,000 and $60,000, and your justification to that is that we want people with technique and skills. So the daily pay and the CPEP, they should be raised, the pay should be actually $10,000 a month, because to have a skill to cut the grass, to clean it up, and I think there's a skill, because you're shaping the grass and stuff. Why isn't the daily pay and the CPEP persons and them, the salary don't increase to $30,000 too? We have to set, you cannot be asking and telling people and pushing a narrative in the space of Tobago that you don't have enough money to pay for salaries when certain persons in the administration are receiving large sums of money. You all mess with the wrong person. And I am not Dr. Growley, who wouldn't want to answer it the way that he was supposed to answer it. I will answer it, plain talk, bad manners. You all are going to continue to hide behind the THA administration, to cloak into the lawyers and courts and everything. That's good. You all hide behind there. But just remember, what goes up always comes down, and you're not going to be in that administration for long. So continue to come after me, and you'll see what happens. I am not taking any threats from anybody. I am not going to be discriminated and hated by any person in that administration again. Forget about me and assist me if you all want to assist me. Assist the projects that I'm doing for the young people in our community. Assist the project that will help our special needs children. You all said in the budget. You all took most of my things from my manifesto and put it in the budget. Where is the special needs training school for the teachers? Where is the special needs home for the training? You all said that for the first budget. Up to now, we haven't seen that. There is so much unaccountability for certain things that are happening in the Tobago space, and you all have just continue to push certain narrative against me. What have I done to this administration? What have I done to the people of Tobago who are following the administration that used to bring negativity? You have to realize that negative that you all come at me, more I'm getting. At the time, we have to fix Tobago, we have to fix the country, because the country, we just had last night, and my country, I can't remember her name, but my condolences going out. What is going to happen in Tobago? What is happening in Tobago? We need to look at the police administration building. The police building in Scarborough needs to be adjusted. I was looking for a budgetary allocation in your budget, in the THA budget, to say that, okay, you're going to fix the Scarborough police station because there's a pungent smell. There's also a dilapidated state of the Scarborough police station and the jail cell. And I'm not seeing any allocations for that. Where's the allocations for that? We need to see those things. You have an allocation to and to fix all up in the West. If you are talking about leadership and having a leadership that could spread across with equality and transparency across Tobago, how come you can have a body to fix things in the East and not fix the whole of Tobago? We have to stop the narrative that Trinidad is at war with Tobago. Nobody's at war with Tobago. The TPP led by Fali Chavez Augustine is at war with themselves and trying to push the narrative that Tobagonians are at war with Trinidad. It's not happening. It has to stop because we are not separated. And if we have our own autonomy, we still have to go to Trinidad for certainty. There's no manufacturing company in Trinidad. There is no oil factory to refine oil in Tobago. What resources? You cannot tell me that tourism will actually build, will be the resources to carry it on Tobago. It can't, because tourism is dead. Look at the island. All the Trinidadians gone back, all the international persons who are here gone back, and the island is dead. We have the cruise ship coming in. What next? What is next? And then again now, I have the issue with the travel markets. You all keep on going out there to these travel markets. What investments is coming to Tobago? All the trips that you all are going on, all this taxpayers' money you're spending, and I'm sure I'm going to see a comment marking, and I wasn't saying nothing, and that is very stupid. Because you are looking at an administration now who is in power, and we cannot continue to look and say, look at what this one do, what this one do. This is childish behavior. This administration is in office and continuing to hold office and is not accounting for the spending and accounting for bringing back things. We need to have the economy going forward. And all the business people and all the people in the business sector who call in and talking about the administration, all stop calling me. Because if all call me, I would just send all the comments or send all the information straight to the administration, let them hear what they say. I am fed up of the hypocritical people. Everybody calling and complaining. Somebody just on my Facebook and talk about they ain't get salary. They ain't get a salary yet. And next person talk about their business going down because they ain't get nothing. Everybody complaining. Stop complaining on social media to me. Come on, the Secretary of Tourism said, I like to use social media to bully THA into getting money. Well, I'm using social media not to bully you into telling you that you can't call my phone to tell me that stupidness to tell me again because I will come after you. I am not going to take any nonsense from anybody. We have to stay focused on this Tobago space. We have to develop our young people. We have to develop the economy. And I said to everybody, as a leader and as an administration, if you do not develop the minds of the people socially, if you do not socially develop the people of Tobago, how on earth do you accept them or have them to accept the changes that you're trying to make in this administration? I am willing to support the administration. Once there is good, I will support them. Once there is sense, I will not support them. I am not a hypocrite. See me, some of them will see me and pass me straight. All of us standing there, okay, morning, hi, morning, hi, morning, and they will not say hello. That is not what a leader is supposed to do. And it doesn't faze me. At the end of the day, he said, look presentable, but I'm always on point. Because when I go to the airport in any foreign country, always have a diplomatic look, and I'm treated with diplomatic respect. But you, airport, and people know you. You can tell me that my look is for the sponsors. It's because of the narrative that you are pushed is what caused us not to get this sponsorship, and I'm very disappointed in the sponsors. Because if you have made a commitment to us to give us sponsorship, hearing these idiots talking about Canicope and support the community, and you withhold your sponsorship, well, you are as stupid as them. And I say I'm not holding back anything. Enough is enough. There are so many issues in the Tobago space that needs to be addressed. As a political leader to unity of the people, as a citizen of this country, I ought to ask questions, and I'm asking questions on behalf of the right-thinking citizen of Tobago that needs answers in the accountability of this administration. And I'm warning this administration and the persons in the administration who continue to sit down behind closed doors and to discuss me. I really care about the other person you all discuss and who whoever has information of all your meetings and them who are discussing to bring down and who are going after, I am not going to use any information against you all, but you all need to look at the people inside of you. Every meeting you have, people are recording your conversation and sending them to me. Look at what they're saying, look at what they're saying. I am not that kind of a controversial person to be bringing all this information. If you have issues with the administration, you all take it up. My concern as the political leader in the Tobago space is to raise issues and concerns of your spending of the monies or the things that you do in the Tobago space. Even in Trinidad, I question some of the things that are in the budgetary allocations from the Minister of Finance. I question certain ministers with certain things, and you don't see the ministers attacking me. But I can pick up the phone and call anybody in PNM administration. I can pick up the phone and call anybody in the UNC. Ask them for guidance as a new young political leader, and they will guide me. But this administration, when they say they're passing me straight, assemblyman supposed to be church-wise, as soon as they see me and they leave it dry, thank you for the gyro, I ate it very well, right? You all are supposed to be assemblyman that you took an oath to office, and you all are not doing what you're supposed to do, and that is what I'm calling out. And I'm asking you all, please, from putting that narrative, I am a part of any BTQI, whatever Chinese alphabet it is, I'm not a part of the community. So that is all I have to say on today's issue. Now I will take questions from members of the media at this point in time. Well, I believe after this press conference, I don't think there's any reasoning. I am at the point where I cannot have faith in this administration. Because, you know, the thing about it is now, people are saying release the evidence, release the information. They just want drama, and I don't want to create the element of drama. I have voice notes, I have recordings of certain meetings that they have, and they are using certain terminologies to describe me, and certain things that they are saying. To that level, I cannot trust them. I cannot even, you know, to have a meeting with them, I have to carry somebody, like the Prime Minister says. To have a meeting with these people, you have to carry people to have evidence, because when you go to have a discussion, I had a good conversation with Ms. Boris the first year because we had the same issue back and forth. We had a good conversation. And then after the conversation coming out of the meeting, they did not do what they're supposed to do. So, to me, I don't have a problem with any of them personally. But they do have, this administration and some of them in the administration, they have a personal agenda to attack me and a personal issue against me personally. And your question to see what I can do to mitigate this going forward or to try to level with them is not up to me. As a leader, I could try, but I don't have time to try with them. I have issues that needs to be addressed. I have social programs and initiatives that needs to continue, and now I have to play catch up because what they would have said to certain sponsors, now have to reach their sponsors over the head because what they would have touched is mostly the Tobago part of the sponsorship. Because, for example, let me say you have the company in Trinidad and they have a Tobago division. So it's most likely the Tobago division what was back to the Trinidad division of the sponsors. So meetings with sponsors to we went wrong, if we ever went wrong, and how to, you know, rationalize things going forward. I have a working relationship with the administration, but I can't because these people are fake and hypocritical. The only person I have a relationship with is Dr. Faith, because whenever there's an issue in health and somebody gives me a question, I will send a message to her. I will ask her to address certain things, which does. The presiding officer, if I have an issue, I will send a message to the presiding officer. That's it. But the rest of them is a bunch of fake people. And I don't have time for fake and hypocritical people. You're calling them, they're not answering the phone, they're reading the messages. You see some of them, when I see them, they're skinning up their face, they don't want to talk to you, they're walking away. I don't have the time. And you all, the media is now, and I have to blame the media on something because there are certain questions the media is supposed to ask. And they're not asking them, they're not pushing them. And then they want to change the narrative. This press conference was not called to lick them up as much as I think I could, but it was just to call them out on the nonsense that they're doing, right? I don't have time for that. My past is my past, and I don't think I have a bad past. But it's just that they're looking at me and they're detailing me because of my outer appearance, which has nothing to do. When I go to the United Nations, there's a level of respect. When I go to any foreign country, there's a level of respect because people are looking at the projects and the things that I'm doing to develop the young people and to develop my country. And despite whatever negative things that they say, I will continue to serve Trinidad and Tobago until God says, okay, I'm ready for you, let we go. That's all I can say. But for now, answer your question as to what can I do is not up to me. It's what your administration will do to try to see how best it can work. Because if you can't work with a minority leader, they don't want to work with anybody. If you go against them or say anything against them, that's it. So as a political leader, my stance now is to continue to focus on my programs, focus on how I can help develop our young people without funding from the THA. The Secretary of Tourism said go back to central government and ask them for money. So I will go back to the central government and continue asking Ms. Shamfa Kojo, our MP West, and our MP East for assistance with any projects that I have to do to further develop our young people in Tobago. Mm-hmm. The government, the administration approach, they would have dampened themselves from the beginning when they ever start disrespecting the Prime Minister and central government. And I do not want to be biased. Based on the of what was said by the Chief Sec and other members of the Assemblyman of the war with Trinidad and telling the Minister come to go lock the gates, there is no war with Trinidad. There is a war with this administration and themselves against Trinidad and against the administration, which is the PNM, the People's National Movement, and central government. In regards to their approach, as I said, it's not individual. Some of us are born leaders, and some of us are they just put them trying to be leaders. And as an administration, we have to remember, before we are elected into office, we have to represent the interests of the people. And if your interest is to make yourself look good and make you feel like if you're a leader and a big talker, you are not representing the interests of the people. At this point in time, Tobago is suffering because of your relationship with the government and the utterances of what you use against the government. We just have one more year. So I don't think the difference, but at the end of the day, I think if this administration wants to go forward and to have a next term, God forbid, they have to settle themselves, come right down, have a discussion properly with the Prime Minister and the central government on moving forward. When you have that meeting and say something negative or say something that was not said, because we have seen the Prime Minister saying that he would hate the Chief Secretary because what was said in the meeting is something totally different when he come out of the meeting. So I think going forward, this administration, I want to be, when I was independent, and I don't know if I said it to one of the media person, but I need to say someone else. When I and I saw Farley Augustine walk to greet the people in the independence and stuff. You know, you can have a vision of a perfect leader and a perfect person. I saw a halo over him. And I was like, but this boy has potential to be a leader. But it's just that I don't know if it's the people around him or what it is. I saw something different. I actually started to cry because I saw something in Farley change the dynamics of Tobago. But I don't see money stupid. Who are wrong the way it is? Something is not right. Something is not right. And it hurts me to see that this young person have a chance to make a difference for all of us young people, and he's not using it in the right format. So I would love to see good for this administration going forward, but with the attitude that they have a social disconnect from the people of Tobago. They're talking about the PNM have a disconnect. They have a disconnect from the people, not reaching people. You all said that when contracts are given, you all will publish them in the public so people can see that we're not seeing anything. We have totally seen nothing that this administration said that they would do, and there's no accountability to the people. And the administration going forward, it's all up to them. I'm not sitting on the executive. I can't know how to treat with the executive. Whoever is advising them and getting the money, all I will always say is those persons who are advising the chief sec, they should run for office, because if you're advising the chief sec with them, don't just telling them to go and something had to be wrong. So again, I want to see good for the administration, because if I see good for the administration, it projects on the development of the Tobago, and then Tobago, because so we have too much of war. We have a war who is PNM, who is DP, who is this, who is that. That needs to stop, because at the end of the day, if I want a cup of sugar, I go by you and go say, wait, your house is a PNM, I want to get sugar. No, we have to put aside this now. That is what is happening. Even in Trinidad space, we see the same separate, and I'm always saying, politics have a morality of its own. No, it's the people who have that morality of its own, because they are politicizing everything and separating and breaking. And to answer your question, the administration, which is led by the Chief Secretary Farley Augustine, they have to put an introspection on themselves to what they want to go forward as, how they represent the people of Tobago and not represent their party. You could do your party stuff after, you could do everything after, but when you are elected into office, you first have to serve the country and the people, and then put the politicians. I do hope the Prime Minister as well will do the same thing. I'm not just calling on the Chief Sec and the administration, the Prime Minister as well. What differences you and the Chief Sec have, or whatever differences or you have on the Tobago space, the Tobago political leader, like Mr. Dennis as well. I have problems and reserves about that, because certain information have been leaked only to that administration. PDP, we have TPP, or we have other parties, but why is just only the PNM administration, the PNM political leader, bringing out documents from the of corruption against it? And those are things that I think the administration will have the wall up, because to have an administration going in there, you do have people inside the office, because certain things in the office that this administration had to fight against. Persons really are there who from previous administration, they are holding back information. Because I went through the same thing. For 5 years, I've been trying to get an assistance of grant, and that individual was holding back my documents. And it's when the administration changed, I received my grant. So there is a push and pull with the administration, and I do understand the administration have that defense, but your defense can be breaking down and tearing down the walls of which you have to put up. So, to answer your question, it all lies in the administration. To be honest, if I do have the right people to lead the charge, lead an administration into Tobago House of Assembly, I don't see anything stopping us. At the time, my problem with Tobago or some of the people of the they're still closed-minded. They're not looking at the message or listening to the messenger. And oh, let me down and let somebody else come. No. If you cannot accept me now, you can't accept me then. If you accept me now, you should accept me hampers. You should accept me help at all period. I'm not going to be stepping anybody way until internal election. So far, the executives that I am happy with them. At this point in time, I do not have a viable team in Tobago to lead the charge yet because we are looking for persons. We have first jump ship. And we have a lot of fake people because I see people clapping with TPP when they launch a party. But it's the same people in the front who keep on messaging me. I tell you if you see, they message me all negatives about Farley and the TPP. So we have a bunch of ship jumpers. They only jump bandwagon because they want to get what they're supposed to. So for you, ask me the question in regards to I see myself as an alternative, as a leader, and the situation supporting me and support us in regards to the development. I can't see until I have good people. And there are people who are afraid because of victimization. There are people who are afraid because of discrimination. There are people. Listen, it has some boys who would like to talk to me and ask me about and see, but just because they see him talking to me, what's the issue to me? Just recently, so a young folk artist, we were conversing on Facebook, and he saw using politically, people want me not to you. So I was like, why? And the remark came out. So I was like, okay, but then call to ask get help. I'm going to do it. So yes, I have a team who is willing to take Tobago forward and who represent the interests of the people of Tobago. That will be no issue for me to challenge again. And as I said, as a political leader, I've made a promise to continue every single elections, whether we win or lose. And I'm so proud of myself. I was kind of disingenuous because we went to that government, we beat the people, and our same PDP chief, my candidate, if me and come across to here and come, I felt because we beat the PDP in Sawa Laventille Lacano area, and we beat one of the national parties. So I felt good that we did something. And I will continue to fight every election. People say my money been wasted. It's not been wasted. Once it goes into the treasury, it still comes into the hands of the people who need it. So continue to contest every single election until 25. After 2025, I have some things in place. I have some offers that I have been rejecting. I asked them to give me until 2025 to fight all the elections going forward. And then if I see no change, then I will take up the offers. In Trinidad, I have already started screening for Trinidad the general election because election. We started the screening process. We have a semi-internal election coming on soon, more positions in the Trinidad space. So I have an internal, I think it's supposed to be in the early of, and then we're going to continue with different areas. I have some viable candidates for the general election, but we live in that hush until, let me see, because they're on for now, but things could change because there's always bribery going on. But we'll see what happens, but I hope that I get a good team to lead Tobago forward. And if I win or lose, I'm still going to battle for Tobago because Tobago needs change, Tobago needs development, and I believe with the kind of mindset that I have and with the kind of intelligence that I think I have, and I'm ready to lead. I'm ready to charge. countries because they have opportunities. And that's why I said, the people who are in and Tobago, the government and the THA, are a waste of time. Because you are taking funding from these foreign countries to do things. Where is the women's battered home? Where is the women's government shelter? Where is this program? I'm hearing people talking at the United Nations, oh, this program is going on, that program. And sometimes I have to open my eyes to find out if I'm inside the world or if I just hearing people that's talking. And persons going to represent the country are only going up there giving lies and stories. So what I'm doing with this delegation, we are starting our fundraising. Those who don't have visas, we are organizing the visas for them to go. So in the delegation of 17 persons. We have 2 male and 15 female. We have police officer, we have persons from a battered home, we have different types of women. Because when you go there, you see different things at the United Nations. And one of the things that I would have taken somebody, I took somebody from Tobago who's living in New York to one of the conferences, and one of the Algerian women said that she was raped by 30 men. And she lost, and she was raped like for three days straight. And her story was so good that she had to flee from there to go to her next country. And when I took the person, they felt the pain of what it is. So there is in Hong Kong, when you see one of these things, when the commissioner of police, they would have given me a badge because they have cyber unit and cyber crime. So what I'm doing there is to learn of the programs, to have those interchange programs. And then that's why you see when I do my manifesto, I do my manifesto futuristically. Because we need to now develop the internet, the cyber unit. We just seen that we've been a cyber attack by TSVT, right? So what needs to happen is a development group. And what I'm trying to do with this, with me, marketing Tobago, marketing Trinidad and Tobago, whatever little resources I have, is not from just to better me, but it's to better the island, better the persons going out there now to see the level of partnership that they can agree on. So I hope that answers the question. So, without further ado, just to wrap things up right now, to come to a close, I just want to say a number of things that I would have addressed. I asked on the Secretary of Infrastructure, Mr. Trevor James, to give an account for the $2 million and let us see what is this problem with the water still flowing. We talk about the autonomy for Tobago, and the true issue for the autonomy is not the government or the PNM, it's the opposition that now has to support the bill, and whatever narrative is pushed by the Farley Augustine to the UNC, they are the cause of why we do not have autonomy. I also talk about the cornucopia and the lack of sponsorship causing it not to be to the level it was, but the masqueraders and everybody who participated enjoyed themselves. Whoever came to enjoy the show because we did not fail. If the show did not come off, that would have been a failure, but we did not fail. It was a success because we had, as I said, 11 soca artists, 11 calypsoners, 17 soca artists. We had the mass band, the 5 mass bands. We had the steel pan. We had Alpha as well. So we had a production. The production was done, so it was a success. It was not a success because of lack of sponsorship and the lack of persons in Tobago space not coming out. That is their failure, not our failure. We did what we're supposed to do. In regards to addressing the Secretary of Tourism and the calls she made to me and the lies that they continue to blatantly tell, and the administration and the people in the administration that continue to push the false narrative of cornucopia being an LGBTQ thing and to lead to help children, I would have addressed all of that issue. I would have addressed that if they want to find the LGBT community, look in the THA administration, they're going to find a lot right there. And I'm not going to take back my word and I'm not going to mince my words. I said to people, everything that I have to say, I have said my piece. I know they will have a response, and I'm ready for that response. And in closing, the person who picked up my phone last night at the gas station, I'm sure by now you all would have seen the post. You all have at least 24 hours, which start from last night, to return my phone, because I do have your location. And I would have posted your location or posted something like your location on social media. And I'm not waiting for the police to come for you. When the boat docked tonight and the persons come up on the boat to find you, whatever you get is what you're going to take. This is not a threat. That is a warning. Right? So if you think that that phone had information that you think you could put out, it have nothing. Because every single information that I know could bring down anybody, it was sent to different people. And some of them are here in front of me, which by today will be shipped out. So all the flash drives you see in here and the phones, everything is going to be shipped out today because I find it very weird. When I was supposed to drop a bomb, that my phone was just mysteriously taken up. So as I leave here, I am going to the gas station to review the footage, and I'm also going to the police station to see how far there is. I'm not disconnecting the phone. I'm not doing anything, but I'm telling you, if you don't want your house to ransack, or if you don't want your workplace to be embarrassed, return my phone. Even though you have to come to me and say you're sorry, bring it back. Because trust me, as I said, the powers you think I don't have, I am not going to use it as of today, because as advised by my legal team, with this narrative that has been pushed, I will come under fire, and I know they will try to attack me, so I am ready. I have no cocoa in the sun, and I have nothing to hide. But what I'm saying, what is in the dark shall come to light, and we have seen certain things come to light, and trust me, you will find it. So the 24 hours almost up. So please return my phone to the nearest police station, or if you want to meet me, contact me on social media, or contact me, and give me back my phone, or rest it back by the gas station, and let me get my phone. Because we already jammed your location. We know exactly the house you live in. We know everything. We know everything, right? It is too small to pull up on the phone. I would like to show you to see, but I will show the media so the media can see that I'm not playing at all, and I'm going to come after you all. And as soon as that boat dock at 8 o'clock tonight, whatever you get is what you're going to take. Have a good afternoon, and thank you, media. Thank you, Trinidad and Tobago, for viewing, and have a wonderful time.